Now, bringing you the very best in New Hampshire-based local music on IPMNation.com and 100.1 The Planet, this is Local Outbreak. Hey everybody, welcome to this week's edition of Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. Matt Connerton from IPMNation.com here bringing you another week, another year. Happy New Year. It's 2022. As we, last month we were celebrating 12 years of Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. And so we continue on into a new year. And so far, so good as far as winter. If you don't like the winter weather, it's had a little bit of snow on the ground, and then the rain came and washed it away, and no major blizzards yet, which is great. But we do have a lot of great new music for you. And we're going to open up this week's show with an artist named Jerfo. And this is pretty interesting. This is called Shred Samba. And I think as you hear it, you'll kind of get an idea of why it's called that. Shred Samba by Jerfo. By the way, that's Jerfo if you're looking for him online. To open up this week's Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. See, told you it would make sense why it was called Shred Samba. The artist is Jerfo to open up this week's local outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. And next up on the show this week, this is Lloyd Thayer, another great guitar player. And this track is called Gate of Ease and Joy. That sounds good for the new year. From the great Lloyd Thayer, next on Local Outbreak. Welcome back. It's Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. Matt Connerton here bringing you the first Local Outbreak of 2022. And we're going to play next a project called Dust Prophet. And Dust Prophet, one of the members of the band is Otto Kinzel. And I can tell you, were it not for Otto Kinzel, this show, or at least this iteration of the show with me hosting it, may not exist. That's right, without Otto, there may be no Local Outbreak. I will explain. Way back, and it's been 12 years of Local Outbreak now, way back 12 years ago, I was in a band with Otto and another gentleman named Michael Haupley Pierce. We were in a band called Chemical Distance, and we were invited. This was before I was the host. I'm not the original host of Local Outbreak, although I took over very early. The original host was my good friend Mike Laughlin, who's a very talented musician in his own right. But we were invited to be guests, Chemical Distance, the band I was in with Otto and Michael Haupley Pierce. We were invited to be guests on Local Outbreak. And Mike Laughlin, who was hosting at the time, wasn't really in a position to do it on a consistent basis. So I ended up, based on that appearance on Local Outbreak, I ended up being offered the gig as hosting the show. So there you go. So had I not been a member of the band Chemical Distance with Otto, who is currently in Dust Prophet, I probably wouldn't be hosting the show today. So it's funny how that goes. One thing leads to another, leads to another. But so I'm very grateful to Otto, and I loved being in that band. But he's been in many, many bands. He's had many projects, but I really like this one a lot. So here it is. This is Dust Prophet and their new track. This is called Hourglass, next on Local Outbreak.
Waters
That's good stuff. That is Dust Prophet with Hourglass. Before that, we heard Lloyd Thayer and Gate of Ease and Joy. Next on this week's Local Outbreak, another really great guitar player, innovative guy. Duke Levine is his name. And this track is called A Dark and Stormy Night. Dark and Stormy Night indeed. That is Duke Levine. Pretty interesting stuff. Definitely a lot of innovative music this week on the show. So much great talent here in the Granite State and very eclectic. A lot of really interesting and experimental projects going on. In fact, well, let's do this. This is a little less experimental, but a band that we have featured on the show before, probably more than once, but they're fairly prolific. This is brand new from the band Old Moon, and the track is called Into It All. Next on Local Outbreak. Hey everybody, it's Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet and IPM Nation. Matt Connerton from IPMNation.com. Last month we were celebrating 12 years of Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet, and of course this week we're celebrating the new year. It is the first Local Outbreak of 2022. And next up on the show, like I said, a lot of experimental stuff this week. And this next track might be the most experimental thing that you hear on this week's Local Outbreak. But I like it. I think it's pretty cool. Nice to hear something different. So much creativity and great talent here in the Grand Estate. This artist is named Will Mallard. And the track is called Bimmy. And I'm not sure what Bimmy means. Mallard, I think, is a kind of duck or something, right? Anyway, see, I can't say it now. Will Mallard with Bimmy. Next up on this week's Local Outbreak.
Yeah, why don't we? Yeah. Wait, let's do it like.
Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2022 here on Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. And I hope you've enjoyed this week's show. Always a lot of fun and such an honor to be able to bring you all of this great New Hampshire-based music from the Granite State. So much amazing talent here. And we heard some really unique things this week. And I like to, it's kind of fun when I can do a show where I play some music that is unlike anything you are likely to hear on the radio. And like I said, there's just so much creativity here in New Hampshire. But if you'd like to get access to the full archive of Local Outbreak, you can go to ipmnation.com/Local Outbreak. Every single episode, the whole 12 years worth is there for you. ipmnation.com/Local Outbreak. And if you're interested in learning more about me and what else I do professionally and my other radio, broadcasting, and podcasting adventures, you can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, and I'll spell it for you because people have trouble with my last name, Connarton, Matt with two T's, mattconnerton.com. And we've got time for one more track, so I'm going to leave you with this last song on this week's Local Outbreak. This is a band called Fields, and the song is Monuments, to close out this week's Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet.
Producer is to use the studio as an instrument. If this meant completely destroying the raw material and building something new out of its ashes, I was prepared to do that as well.